welcome to Parentology. I'm your host, Choni Selden. Today we are in conversation with one of the most talented Bhutanese artists in the film industry. She has recently won the National Film Award for Best Actor Female 2019 for her film Ribinyakaposhi. Yes, today we are joined by the vibrant Tandin Bidha. Welcome to Parentology.
Thank you, Cho. Thank you for organizing this wonderful show. Thank you very much.
So tell me, the film award, the 2019 Best Actor Female for Ribinyakaposhi, what does that award mean to you?
Cho, you have known me personally, so you know how much effort and time I put in my work. So for me, winning that award is like winning an Oscar. If there is anything which is beyond or greater than Oscar, it would be that. So I don't know about the others, but I was emotionally, really happy, and then I felt like, leaving my gawa at home and sacrificing everything and going there to the field and staying away from my son for months was worth it.
Yeah. The dialogues, oh my goodness, I was listening to the dialogues in the film and you really feel it. There are only very few people in the industry who can deliver dialogues as meaningfully and as strong as you. Delivery is quite important, especially for period films. So do you think you'll be doing more period films in the future? What kind of films do you see yourself doing?
Period film, you have to put effort. So recently I worked in one of the projects where I was lead negative. So I'm doing negative for the first time. So I got the script 1 year prior. So I have been preparing for 1 year. So the effort and time that you have to invest on such kind of movies are limitless. Yeah. You have to put all your time and effort in that. But then, I feel like I should be doing more period films because that way I will be sharpening my skills and I'll be doing, getting better with time. So yeah, I think if they have trust and faith in me, I would be doing more of period dramas and films.
So, a negative role. How did you agree to do that? This is your first, right? Yeah.
Chuni, I think one should grow as an individual and as an artist because I have been doing all this lovey-dovey, that princess and then cute girl from next door and all. But then I wanted to do something different. I have never done this, but then I want to check how far I can go. So that was a very strong role where I have to, switch my character in a fraction of a second. The moment I'm crying, the moment I would be, running around, and then I have this split personality kind of, thing. So it was challenging for me, and then I wanted to do it, and I wanted to check that how far I can go as an artist. So I did that.
The film industry usually has a notorious reputation of being a platform for the younger, newer actors and actresses. But you are a mother of one, a 7-year-old boy. You were married and later divorced. You've been in the film industry for 12 years now. I want to know, Tandi, what is your secret to staying relevant?
I think it's the effort and the determination that you have. So, nothing is impossible. And this sounds very cliche, but then this is the fact. Nothing is impossible, Cho. If you really want to do it, you can do it. So I feel like you should have the zeal to, and you should have a goal where you want to go. So if you want to go to Taksang, you have to have that, okay, Taksang de Anafa Jui, and then you have to climb this, and you have to go down, and then you get there. But you do get distracted by the views and all, but then you can't hang in there for long because you have to return home. It's just like that. If you have a dream, if you have a goal to be an actress, to be one of the finest actresses who worship their work, then there are reasons for you to pull down, but then you have a goal already set. So you have to work towards it, and the determination and then consistency of aim and effort, that you have to put in every day, every second of your life. So yeah. These are the things that helps me keep moving forward because I have a dream.
You've been in the industry 12 years, and that's quite a lot. It's more than a decade. And a lot of the people don't last that long in the industry. So do you find yourself working maybe, like putting in extra effort or trying really hard to compete with?
I don't see them as a competition. I treat all of us an artist as a flower. So we bloom in a different time, and every flower is special. So I consider all of us as a flower. So I don't see them as a competition. But for me, I am the competition. So I can't be like Tandin Bidha when she started her career. I can't be like Tandin Bidha when she almost got married. I can't be like Tandin Bidha when she went into divorce and when she was at the lowest of her situation, you know. I have to get better with time. So the competition is within me. I have to get better.
Wow, you're inspiring. This is really inspiring, Tandi, to hear. And to hear a woman go through all these different experiences in her life. Not all of it is pleasant. Like you admit, there was divorce, then there were times where your films did not do well. What keeps you going? Because sometimes maybe failure is not the right term, but sometimes when you really work hard to do something, like maybe it's your marriage, maybe it's your friendship, maybe it's your relationship with your family members, or your career, in your case, the films. Sometimes you work so hard, yet it doesn't work. What keeps you afloat? What keeps you trying? What keeps you working still?
So we are brought up in the same situation from the ground. We have seen our parents struggle. So that is nothing when compared to what we have seen our parents go through. They have started from the scratch and they have built the empire, I can say that, you know. They don't have to rely on anyone now, and because of them, we don't have to rely on anyone. So looking at my parents, our parents, what we go through is nothing. I have a very strong support at home. I have a mother who is very strong, very positive. I have my brothers to look after my son. I have my ange who will cook and feed my son when I'm around, when I'm not around. And there are my brothers and my sister Namge, you know. And I have a strong, you know, village of people who would help me move forward. So I think maybe maybe it's their energy and their effort and their positivity which is keeping me, you know, helping me move forward. They must be the reason, because there are some women who doesn't have a good support system from the family. So I'm a blessed one. So if I have achieved something in my life, that's because of the support system that I have at home. Because when I leave my son behind and when I go for work, I did not have to worry about him, because I know that he's in a safe hand. I can give my 100% in my work.
For those of you who don't know, Tandi truly does have a tribe of women behind her, supporting her. She has her mother, like she mentioned, her ange, her sister, Namge. And she has always attributed them. It's always the women in your family that has your back, which is a great example of women supporting women, so that whoever you're supporting is successful and is at peace with whatever they're doing. Talking about relevance, you have one of the highest, actually, in fact, the second highest following on Instagram. 83, right? 83.5? Is it? Yeah. Which is one of the highest in the country. You also are the brand ambassador for PSafe, right?
Yeah.
It's a company in India, and Samu, recently, the OTT platform. You have also been the MC for the last 4 years of the reality show, The Voice. She's also a businesswoman, we forget sometimes. She's an entrepreneur. We're actually sitting in her cafe, and I'm wondering, you have dabbled into, as an entrepreneur, you're an MC, you're still hosting the show, you a brand ambassador, and then acting, your forte. Which of these jobs do you enjoy the most?
These are all a branch of a tree. These are all the branches of one tree. So I will not be able to choose which one would be the best, because these are the things which are coming from one tree. So I like all of them. I enjoy every one of them. But then hosting a show would be one of the toughest, because we go live, and I took it as a challenge, and then I'm getting better with it now. So I do have errors, but then, you know, slowly I'm getting better with this also. So yeah, I don't have a choice in that.
Because so many younger women, so many impressionable women are looking up to you, do you ever feel the pressure to behave a certain way, do a certain thing?
Yes, true. As a human being, we have to be responsible enough. And then there are so many younger generation who look up to you, and they think that you are perfect in every aspect of your life. But then in the end, you are a human being who goes through everything that every normal human being goes through. But then you have to be careful, But then I don't feel the pressure like, you have to live up to their expectation. It's just that you have to have a good intention. You have to behave well, and then you have to be aware that somebody is watching you, because you can't do something crazy in front of everyone, and then there are younger children who look up to you. It's like a parent behaving well in front of their children.
Being a mom and being all the other things that you are, an entrepreneur, an actor, an MC, a brand ambassador, there's a lot on your plate. How do you manage to do it all?
Sure, you know it because you are a working mother. We have to divide time. That's what I have been doing because we choose to be a mother. Nobody forced us to get married and have a children at the age of 24, 25. We decided, so that is what we thought we could manage well. So we should know how to divide time because work is important because we have been working at a very young age. From 18 we started working. So we cannot leave this behavior and then we cannot leave this pattern of our life and then just be a homestay mother. We can't do that. And I appreciate who could sacrifice everything and be at home and look after their children. I salute to all of them. But then I'm not one of them. I need to work and at the same time I need to have a family. So I have decided this and I should be responsible enough to divide and manage the time. So,
Tandin, could you be kind enough to share one of your most memorable, one of the most happiest memories that you have?
I started cursing when it happened, but then now when I look back, I think that is the most memorable moment of my life. Having to decide to get married at the peak of my career when I was leading the industry, and then to having a child at the age of 25. So yeah, I was ruling the industry. Everything was doing so well, but then I said, no, that is enough. Now I want to start my family, now I want to have my own family. So yeah, that is one of the best decision I have ever made, and it makes me smile. Each time when I see Gawa, it makes me smile. I'm like, have I not gotten married at that time of my life, I will be still single, True, I will be working really hard. I'll be focused totally on my work that I will be missing out that. Though I went into a bad divorce, but I don't want to blame anyone. But, I have Gawa. So yeah, this is one of the best decisions I've ever made. But initially, I used to curse. I'm like, why did I get married? I should have worked hard, I should have been in the industry, But then, no. I think that is the best decision I've ever made.
Now that I've asked you the most memorable moment, I want to also know what was your lowest point in life where you thought you've lost it all, there was no coming back, say?
Once I had Gawa, and then the friction between me and my partner started. I don't want to blame anyone. It started from both the sides, so I don't want to blame anyone. That was the moment because I had a lavish wedding ceremony, which everybody knew about it. It was loud. Then I had to, after 2 years, almost 2 years, I had to decide that I had to get a divorce. So that was one of the lowest of my life because I couldn't get out of it, and it was so hard for me. I went into semi-depression, and then I took refuge in the books that I have. Before, I was not a reader. I would die if somebody asked me to read a book. I'm like, but then, after divorce, I had to seek refuge in spiritual books. I started with spiritual books, and then I started reading anything that was put in front of me. So these are the collections of my book and Namge's book. And I started traveling, and I had like I said, I had a very strong support system at home who would listen to the same thing, which I would say over and over again every night and day. My divorce was the lowest of the lowest. I couldn't even go out. I couldn't see people for months. I couldn't even talk. I was hospitalized, and then they didn't know that what I was going through. And then I started arguing with my mother, which I never did for the last 25, 26 years, and then I started to argue with my mother. I started to, create dramas at home. Then I couldn't work. That was the lowest of my lows. I could see the darker side of me. I was never like that. I was so rebellious, and then I was so angry most of the time, That was the darkest. But I could come out of it.
Yes,
I didn't have to take medication. But if you are going through such kind of phases, I think you should consult a doctor, you should open up. I went to the schools and talked about my divorce, what I went through, and then I took refuge in the books. They are like this most precious treasure that I have. So that's why it's for the public. I have placed it here so that they can read, because I took refuge in it and they helped me.
So, Tandin, with best memories, it stays as an image in your head and it's gone. But with the lowest points of your life or the darkest experiences of your life, it gives you lessons, it leaves you with lessons. What are some things that you've learned from your lowest point of your life?
I am a better person now. I can put myself in the situation and I can feel, I'm more empath now. I can say that. And I can relate to somebody's situation. And then when somebody says that they are into depression or they are sad, I can actually feel it, because there were moments when I would be sad for no reason, because I would be collecting those memories. So I think like I'm a better person now. I'm so much better now. Yeah, and I forgive everyone who was not kind to me, because I feel like that's the karmic connection. That's the karma that I had to, the bad karma that I had to face. Like every Buddhist believe about the karma, good karma and the bad karma. So maybe that marriage was a teacher for me to make me a better person.
Looking at the silver lining of the dark cloud. What about dealing with Goa? Does that give you a lot of practice into being the patient person that you're really trying to be?
I was the most impatient child in the family. I used to get angry, I couldn't wait. And then Goa taught me this. As a mother, he taught me this, because I have to wait whether I like it or not. I have to smile whether I want to or not.
And you lose most of the battles you have with your children. You lose, you end up losing. So.
And then, there are times when you just want to, shout at him, but then you can't do it. Had it been your friend or your colleague, you could have done it without even a second thought. But with your children, you cannot do it. So Goa is another teacher. Yeah.
You have gone through one of the most public divorces in the country. It was everybody's matter. Everybody knew about it. But I mean, they thought they knew about it. A lot of the people did not have the right information. Yeah. But if there are young girls out there, maybe stuck in a rut, maybe in their marriage or at work or personally, what advice would you like to give to someone like them?
I think, Cho, it's a phase of life. You can't have that consistency in your life. That would be boring, yeah. It has to be like, up and down. So that is the charm of being born as a human, Then you can rectify the errors and then you can get better. And again, you have to fall, it's a circle. So it has to go. Once you're born in this samsara, you have to face all these obstacles. And there's no way that, laluchi gato forever. It's not like that. Everybody has to go through their own share of burden, the package that is built for you, whether you like it or not. So be strong, be determined enough, and then when you are at the lowest of your situation, don't lose it. Because that's just a phase, that's a certain period of time, maybe a month or a year or two. And after that, you have to come back again. So think about that, When I was at the lowest of my situation, I always think about Gawa. How would Gawa survive? If I'm not there, what would Gawa do? I have to set an example. I have to be his father as well as his mother. And then whenever I work, whenever I go to the field, I always ask, okay, I have to make Gawa proud. Later on, when I'm not here, when he watch my movies, he should be like, that's my mother, yeah. I want to be like her. I want to do that. So if you have this intention, if you have a goal, everybody goes through their downfalls, the lowest of the lowest situation. Everybody goes through every day of their lives. Just be consistent, just focus on your life, and then think that it's just a phase. I know it's hard, I know it's really hard, I've been there, but then, it's you that you have to bring forward. There are people who will help you, who will guide you, who will put you into medication. You need that as well, but then it's you who will be, talking to yourself to bring you forward. So solely depends on you.
Let's talk about your younger self. You were feisty, you were stubborn as a younger, you always had things go your way. But when things failed to go your way, as someone, as you right now, as Tandin Bidha, who is here sitting on the couch, what advice would you have given your younger self?
I think it was my younger self that I'm here today. Had she been like, oh, Kimino Gachi, whatever happens, happens for a reason, I wouldn't be here. I was really stubborn. I knew that I have to achieve something in life. So because of her, I'm here. So I'm grateful to her. Yeah. I learned quite a lesson. I fell down, I cried, but then I had the tendency to, dust myself and keep running. So I'm proud of who she is.
Great answer.
Despite
great
all
answer.
the error.
As a working mother, what's your biggest challenge?
Time management. And then the family support too. I tell you, the support that you have from home is very important. Had I not have my mother and my siblings and my sister and my ange at home, I will not be able to go for work because my attention and my focus would be divided into work and at home. So I have a village of people who would push me forward, who would say, don't worry about home, don't worry about Gawa, we'll take care of him, we'll drop him to school, we'll make sure that his homeworks are done. Besides that, I worry about Gawa. I used to check my telegram, and all, whether he's doing his homework on time or not. I have to keep updated. Think about those mothers who really want to pursue something in their lives, but then they don't have person to look after their children. So I'm so blessed. You should have a very strong support system at home. It starts from the home. Everything has to start from home, and so is the support system. If you have a very strong support system, nothing is impossible.
This is a really good message, not just for the women watching this. This is a message for families watching it. Because for your women to succeed in life, especially if she wants to step out of her home and do something with her life, the family has to be behind her, because at this time in our country, the woman has to do the role of a stay-home mom, even when you're working. That's the difference between dads who are working and moms who are working. The mom has to still be responsible for whatever happens to the child in school, at home, which is why support is key.
And then you have to wake up 3 hours earlier. First you have to get ready, and then you have to bathe your child, and then you have to make him ready. Then you have to go to the kitchen and cook for everyone. It's like you have to. Before, when we were not married, you could wake up at one hour earlier, and then you just have to shower and do your makeup, and that's done. But then once you have a child, you have to wake up 3 hours when everybody's sleeping. You have to wake up at 3 hours earlier, and then you have to do everything, and then you have to look pretty.
Exactly, because you have to step out of the house.
My Gawa had rashes from the day before picnic. We went to the orchard, and he's struggling with the rashes. So I couldn't leave him like that. Though there are people, but then as a mother, I should feel responsible. And then I feel like my concentration and my focus on him is more important than any others. So I had to wake him up. I had to bathe him, and then I have to put ointment on his butt. So yeah. Then I had to get ready, I had to shower, I had to eat something, So I woke up at 7. The meeting is at 10 o'clock. So see, so this is how we have to manage. We have to mop, we have to do everything as just like a maid. And then also you have to look pretty when you step out of your house. If you go in your pajamas, you'll be like, oh my God, now she's going into depression. Something is wrong with, something is, and you have to look pretty at any time of your life. Besides
any part of the day also.
Besides the chores that you have to do at home, the laundries, the dishes, the food, and then the tantrums that you have to face of your children, and think about the situation where your child is not well. That is the worst.
Exactly. As a mother, do you think it makes your job a little more stressful, or it makes your job maybe a second priority? Would it have been different if you weren't a mother? Do you think anything would have changed if you weren't a mother?
I think nothing would change, Chuni. It's the time. It's just that I would be waking up one hour earlier. But since I'm a mother, I have to wake up 3 hours early. So that is the only thing which will change. But then other than that, I think it would be the same. Yeah.
So Tandi, we're almost to the end of the conversation here. Tell us about where you see yourself in the future. What are your plans? What's the goal here on?
First of all, I want to raise a gentleman at home. I want Gaurav to be the best human being he can ever be. And besides that, I would be still acting, I would be sharpening my skill. I might take some very good roles as a negative or as a princess, or you never know. And I would be still working in the film industry. I might go into direction. So yeah, I will be doing something which is related to film or which is related to public, whereby I can get connected to the people. So I want to do something because I like the attention, I like the love, So I would be doing something like that, yeah.
Tandi, I'm so happy to see where you are right now. And I'm very thankful that you gave us this time. You are a busy woman, everybody knows that, but you took this time out to talk and talk about being a mother, but also being a successful woman at that. In your career as a parent, it is really inspiring to a lot of us. So thank you so much. I wish you all the luck. Congratulations on the award. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cho. Thank you for bringing her forward. Thank you very much.